All right, we're live, and we were in here kind of pumping ourselves up pre-show. I don't know if you guys heard that, but we're like, "Are you ready to rock?" And then some chick drives by, and she's like yelling out her car window.
I don't know if she was replying to us or not, but that was pretty awesome timing either way.
The timing was most exceptional.
It was really good, yeah. So she might have been, which was fantastic. Anyways, what do we got going on?
We have a great show for you guys today, and we are both burning to talk about what's going on with CSGO, like multiple times leading up to the show. In spite of the fact that we've barely seen each other today, we've like started talking about it, and then we have to like give ourselves disciplinary.
Stop.
No, save it for the show. Save it for the show. So we're gonna talk about what's going on at DreamHack right now with Team FNATIC and CSGO. Also, Ubisoft has taken a small break from digging, at least on Assassin's Creed Unity. They might be following up with some more digging with their other franchises, but we got to give them credit where credit is due. And when they do the right things, if we're gonna ream on them for doing the wrong things, then we have to congratulate them for doing the right things.
Yep.
What else we got today?
ASRock has an X99 board coming out, which has 2 10 gigabit NICs and 2 gigabit NICs, which is insanity.
I have 2 NICs as well. There are 2 people named Nick who work here.
Yes.
What else we got?
I was trying to find more Nick jokes. It is not December yet, so...
Well, as long as you use an older joke, it might have a couple nicks in it.
Yes! Okay, Nintendo also files patents for Gameboy emulation, finally. And that's, I think, mainly on Android, I think. But anyways, we'll talk more about that later.
All right, we've got a couple of people complaining that there's no sound, but then we've got other people enjoying the Nick jokes, so you're going to want to refresh your stream there. Oh, wow, epic fail. There we go. Well, there's a hint as to who's one of the sponsors today. Derp-de-derp. I love this show.
It's kind of fantastic. Because when it breaks, it's better. We're like that, you know that like Japanese art of fixing things with the golden fill?
No.
I can't remember what it's called, but like if a cup breaks, they'll fix it with a golden fill and it's supposed to look even more
like
beautiful.
Gold.
So as the WAN Show breaks, we make it even better.
So our sponsors today are 5-4 Club, making things better by making them worse, one sponsorship deal at a time. And Squarespace, where they actually do try to make things better. They both try to make things better. 5-4 tries to make you look better. Squarespace tries to make your website look better. And between both of them, you should have a more professional, personal image. I salvaged it.
While we're wearing Christmas sweaters.
Yay! Merry Christmas, everyone. Did you see the fan art of the Christmas shark?
So good.
That was so awesome.
So
I tweeted it out earlier this week. All right. No, now we're gonna have to have a little bit of discipline. Let's do Ubisoft first. Okay, so hold on. Let's find the Unity topic here. Oh, that brought up opportunity. Okay. So this was posted by Araf Benayan on the forum. The original source is...
Post a link in chat.
I'm sorry?
Post a link in chat.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
do you want to do those?
You need to.
I need to.
There's reasons. There's new functionality added.
Reasons...
We'll try to fix that for next week.
Good enough for me. Yeah. Because reasons is good enough. All right, so there's the link to the thread on LinusTechTips.com, and the basic premise here is, and I'm even going to remember to screen share with you guys this week.
Whoa!
Okay, well, the page isn't really loading, but the...
Double awesomeness!
All right, so there you go. Wait, I don't usually load the Linus Tech Tips forum page. That's right, I usually load the source link. Yeah, I know. Okay, so Assassin'sCreed.ubi.com, the head of the game studio behind Assassin's Creed Unity, has emailed players apologizing for bugs in the video game.
Yep.
And offering them free content.
Which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people were talking about how they should have... I can't even find this topic. I read it, but I can't see it in there anyways. No worries. I know what's going on. I know a lot of people were actually talking about how they wanted a recall on the game entirely.
That's stupid. That was a stupid article, and no one recalls a video game. The only reason you would recall anything is if there's like a safety hazard, or it doesn't even do what it said it did. It's still an Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, it doesn't run very well, but that's more of a, yo dog, you probably shouldn't pre-order our stuff anymore type situation than a recall situation. How do you even recall It's like recalling a movie.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, because you could have already possibly had the experience. But then you could recall a car after someone's driven it for a long time.
That's true, but you wouldn't give them a brand new car.
I don't even
And
know
you wouldn't
what
give them
happens
you wouldn't give
if
them
you-
their money back. You fix it.
Oh, okay.
That's how a car recall works. A patch is basically how a car recall works. So they already recalled it if they're patching it. You know what? That's kind of funny.
Well, what about the EV1?
If we made game developers call their patches recall notices.
Well, okay, I don't think that's fair, because some patches could be like adding features, not fixing things.
So that could be an expansion pack or a DLC.
But it's
But if it's a bug fix, they have to call it a recall notice. They might not. They might.
But they're not
try to
taking it from you.
That's true.
They're not recalling it.
That's true. So, and since okay, anyways, okay. So,
don't think this
recall
works.
is dumb. Basically, anyone who bought Assassin's Creed Unity will get a free copy of Dead King's DLC, which is pretty cool. And I believe
There it
it's
is.
people who bought the
Seasons Pass.
Seasons Pass are eligible for a free Ubisoft game. So you can pick from Rayman, Raving Rabbits.
I'm going to completely stop you
can-
because you're already wrong. The Crew, Far Cry 4, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Rayman Legends,
You never let me have
and
fun.
Just Dance 15.
I was gonna come up with stuff like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. No, it's actual like good games, like even games that aren't even out yet. So you can get a copy of the
And
Crew.
Black Flag.
Mind you, the Crew might just be setting yourself up for disappointment again. Although we'll get into that topic next. So I mean, I don't know what else there is to really say about this. Kudos to Ubisoft.
I'm happy they addressed it.
The Seasons Pass will be discontinued. It's not like they've completely learned their lesson. They didn't come out and say, we aren't going to do Seasons Passes anymore. We're going to deliver all the content we can at launch, and then if an expansion pack happens, it happens, and it'll be an expansion pack, not a nickel and diming you for every little thing DLC
I'm okay
scheme.
with expansion packs. I'm even okay with when they're like, yeah, we're going to finish the game at this date, and then we're going to work on one, and it'll be ready when it's ready, probably a year from now.
But when
I'm
they're
like, oh,
fixing
okay.
like in-game currency to buy, treasure chests and crap and
That's
open
stupid.
chests versus having the game actually
And
not
having,
have,
like
eyeballs floating around in the air, like
And
I'm
having
an
a big
Assassin's
part of the
Creed character.
game be like, oh yeah, you need to be online so you can open these chests, and then being like, oh yeah, you're having performance issues, just go offline.
Just shut her down.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
Did we even cover the thing where they wanted, I think it was PS4 players to delete their friends list
What?
or something like that?
I don't
Oh
remember.
crap, I can't remember.
I kind of ignore console news, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Though.
Okay, do you want to move into the Crew?
The Crew. So
Yeah, so hold on. By the way, there's 2 days left in the Keep On Digging shirt campaign.
I'm not wearing the right shirt, but this is also Highlander, so
It's a Linus Tech Tip shirt, so you've got that much right.
yeah.
All right, well,
50%? Did
whatever.
I pass?
Keep On Digging shirts are still available at teespring.com/keepondiggin with no G. Those are going to be available for another couple days. So
I
go
wore mine
ahead.
to the gym, and I think people thought it was like a workout thing.
Really?
Yeah. I actually had quite a few people like reading my shirt. I don't know, that's totally off topic. But anyways, so the Crew will not be given to reviewers before its release date. Ubisoft is claiming that this is because the Crew is supposed to be a very large, expansive world experience with a lot of other players in it, and reviewers wouldn't have been able to experience that whole dynamic ecosystem, therefore rendering it invalid.
And I get that. It's kind of like if you weren't going to provide, like, okay, well, hold on. There's flaws in the logic, but just, can you bear with me for
I'm nodding because I'm bearing with you for now.
You were going to jump on me.
I
for
was
sure.
going to add stuff, actually.
You were going to jump on me for what I was about to say.
Okay.
So for me, it would be about like not providing reviewer copies of WoW, like originally.
No, that's actually exactly what I was going to add.
Okay,
Yeah.
but then that would be stupid because if you hadn't provided reviewers copies of WoW, that would, because they couldn't experience an MMO the way that it's meant to be experienced with other players, then that would basically mean that you didn't test it at all, which leads us to
The next part, where they say that the Ubisoft The Crew release will be smooth. I believe it was one of the lead designers says he's confident that it will go smoothly. Reason being, we've reaped the benefits of a lawn beta program with thousands of players all over the world playing the game at the same time. Why exactly weren't reviewers able to get this game? Was it because there weren't thousands of players all over the world being able to play with them? Oh, it seems like you solved that problem. Give reviewers the damn game. What are you doing? god! And like, WoW had an open beta.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty sure a reviewer could have jumped in the open beta. That solves that problem. I left that off until we got to this part because the whole thousands of players thing. Like, yeah, they solved that problem. Tons of, like, every MMO that I really know of has had an open beta at some point.
If they've closed the beta down by now, then arguably, yes, there's no one on the servers. But then you could also say, well, hold on a second, why don't they just leave the beta users in there until launch? It's not like other games haven't done this before.
Or even send all your beta users a message and be like, oh, did you want to keep playing the game? We're opening the servers again for
72 hours.
Or whatever. And then just don't tell them, oh, by the way, there's also going to be reviewers on the servers. Yeah. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
So then, you've got your reviewers running around. There's a bunch of people who've been playing the game for a while. So
Which is good.
So they get to have that experience.
Yeah.
Whereas reviewers, actually, that's another really good point that I just made. Whereas reviewers are going to be jumping into it with a whole bunch of noobs all over the place, which might actually negatively affect the gameplay experience.
So if you have that long-term beta group that can kind of lead people around and get people in on missions and stuff, that might be more helpful.
Ubi should be watching, because that's a perfect idea. You take your beta, you end it 4 weeks before launch or whatever, then you open up like a 72-hour period when you hand out the reviewer keys so that everyone who's been starved for it for the last few weeks gets to jump in and the world is nice and active with people who know what they're doing.
Ubi, if you want to surrender like your business practices division to Linus Media Group, I'm sure we can handle that.
We can handle it.
That'd be totally fine.
Stop making games that suck.
Common sense and logic. Anyways.
So those were posted by Edort Master Race on the forum. The original article there was from digitalspy.com for the crew not being given to reviewers before release. And then for the crew, Ubisoft is sure that the crew launch will be smooth. The original article there was from PCGamer.com, and that was posted on the forum by Master Disaster.
Yeah. Okay, so can we please?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. All
right. Let me scroll all the way down.
This is the main event today, my friends. Hold on, let me just... I know, right? This is unbelievable. So I'm just going to bring up... okay, whatever. The source that I have for it right now is basically a Reddit thread with people talking about it, so I'll just fire this up. But Dreamhack Winter 2014, FNATIC uses boost against LDLC. So let's go ahead and fire this up. This was originally posted on the forum by... oh, crap, I forgot to put down the OP here. But I think that's important, giving people credit for contributing to the news section of LinusTechTips.com. Here's the Reddit discussion right here. Warning, this thread contains spoilers. Oh, okay, I guess spoiler alert if you follow esports events.
Yeah, that's a good call. Spoiler alert, don't listen to this part, I guess. Although it's like literally everywhere, so good luck.
Okay, so here. Do you want to...
So LDLC and FNATIC are teams 1 and 2. They played the first game, LDLC won. They played the second game, FNATIC won. And to give you a little bit of history, a few FNATIC players have been kind of pointed at pretty heavily in this recent hacking, point people out game that's been going on. And a few of them have quite a bit of public evidence against them.
Yeah, so, what's his face? There was a good compilation of GIFs.
Yeah, GIFs.
For,
I still say GIF.
Yeah, I know.
I'll
find it. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to keep going. The third game was on map D_overpass. Pretty interesting map. And a map that Valve has asked their competitive teams to help them in terms of tuning and fixing any things that should be balanced or fixed on the map. Anyways, the game was going 12-3 at halftime. LDLC was essentially wrecking FNATIC, that's fine. But yeah, 12-3 at halftime, and in the second half, FNATIC was on the CT side, that's counter-terrorist side. A boost at the A bomb site was found, where if they use a couple players to kind of stack on top of each other, they can get up on top of something by pixel walking a little bit. I think they were pixel walking a little bit. All this is a little bit early on. So they could see the 3 main pathways on the map from this kind of perch way on the back. And they could use a sniper. It's not like they could just see them. They could use a sniper to shoot people from there and actually kill them from extremely far away from a position that you should not be able to see and or kill those people from.
Yeah, there's a screenshot on the Linus Tech Tips forum of the developer view of the map where you can see where the... Oh, that's interesting. where you can see that the areas that they're walking on are not supposed to be areas where you can walk. And basically the reason for that is that you'll tend to curve surfaces, so you can end up with stray pixels that can be stood on, even though that's not the way that that surface was intended to be used. So it actually clearly states in the DreamHack rules that pixel walking is not permitted, although I don't believe an official judgment has been passed down yet, because they're going to be reviewing it, and they have committed to do something by the end of today. But honestly, with all the poo flying around right now over cheating in CSGO, we talked about this on the show last week, but with hacks as blatant as pressing a button and then zeroing in on the head of the nearest enemy being used. And, there's a lot of denial about whether it's been used in competitive play or not, but there's also evidence stacking up against certain players. Lots of it stacking up against certain players. This is terrible timing. It puts FNATIC under way more scrutiny than they otherwise would have been under. And even if I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it a cheat, because there is just no way. Well, even if the cheat gets allowed, here we go. We've got an imager screenshot of the DreamHack rules. Pixel walking is illegal. Even if they end up getting away with this, the community is going to hate them for doing this.
And this is stupid. Most we've talked a lot about how it's very specifically esports. It's not sports. Blah, blah, blah. That's something Linus likes to bring up all the time. But something notable about that whole idea is that basically all the sports I've ever played have pretty aggressive sportsmanship rules.
Guidelines.
You can get in trouble. You can get put in penalty boxes. You can be kicked out of games. You can be kicked out of leagues for sportsmanlike conduct.
You can get big fines, $10,000, tens of thousands of dollar fines for doing unsportsmanlike things in a game. And
this is one of the least sportsmanlike things you could ever do. I would almost argue that in a fit of rage, mid-match, swinging out at someone is almost not the same as this. Because this wasn't one round. This wasn't right after you got nailed by some dude. This was
for the rest of the match.
It was 12-3. They ended up winning, 16-13. So the other team got one more match after they started using this, and I believe that match was pistol round before they were able to buy a scout on the second round so that they could start sniping from that position, and then they won everything. I think that's how it went. I didn't actually see it.
So for people who don't pay much attention to competitive gaming, when you're just in a pub, you can see a kill cam a lot of the time.
Match.
So just a public random match on the internet. You can see a kill cam and you can see where guys hit you from, and you can even spectate the other team a lot of the time. Not the case here. So until they could go back and watch the match replay or figure out where this guy was in a place where he should not have been, they had no way of discovering where they were getting hit from even.
Yeah. There was a lot of confusion trying to figure out where they were getting hit from. Guys were dying, and then guys were kind of looking around going where the heck could we have possibly just been shot from? And then that guy was dying. It was a mess. I think there might have only been one pathway that they could have possibly gone that wasn't under vision of this sniper. And eventually that sniper got an auto sniper, so it was just mowing people down, and then they could just essentially win everything. Because if there's only one path that they could possibly be coming from in Counter-Strike, you're gonna win. I don't know. Absolutely ridiculous. Completely pathetic. Insanely disrespectful. I don't care about that team at all. Everyone on that team should just be kicked out. I don't know. That's absolutely ridiculous. I hope DreamHack solves this properly. I hope Valve solves this properly. There should be sportsmanlike conduct rules. There's rules against what they just did, so hopefully they figure it out. I kind of hope that they were pixel walking just so that everything is no matter what invalidated. Yeah. I used to watch Counter-Strike a little bit. I probably won't ever watch it again after the last little bit that's been going on. Shooters in general are quite notorious for people hacking in them. Counter-Strike has always been on the top of that list of people talking about games that people hack in, so this is just kind of ridiculous.
Well, I think top of that list is a little bit aggressive.
What else would be about
I don't know, something like COD.
Hacking?
Maybe not in competitive play, so fair point. Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess what else is there to say? I wish I could find the. I wish I could find.
What are you trying to find?
The there's the collection of GIFs that I was talking about from Flusha.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nick would be able to send it to us.
Yeah, I was looking at it before, but basically it's just like hilariously bad. Like you'll be looking over here and the camera just it does a reload and then snaps.
Yeah.
Over to somewhere
and then smooth movement again.
And then you can tell he moves his mouse to where the guy's going to come around the corner. It's just unbelievable.
And like how some of this stuff is working is you'd be able to see at a LAN. Oh my goodness.
Hello, truck.
You'd be able to see at a LAN if someone is using a wall hacker where they could see through the wall. So a lot of times it just puts your mouse cursor there. So one thing that I noticed even in watching one of these GIFs of Flusha was he was going smoothly across and then his cursor snapped onto someone's head and then he went smoothly across again and then came around the corner and shot it where the guy was. But by the time he had moved around the corner, that guy had happened to move. So he shot exactly where the dude's head was previously, but he had moved. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like he pre-fired around the corner and missed.
Right.
Very possibly.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. One last word. Valve, DreamHack administrators, you have to do the right thing. And the problem with something like this is that it's not just one player deciding to go ahead and exploit something. This was a team decision. Their coach after the match was asked about it. The interviewer basically, to paraphrase, just kind of went, I don't really know what to say. Like, how long have you guys known about this? And he goes, a couple of months. So there's more controversy. The person who discovered this exploit was actually posted a video on YouTube about it and claims that FNATIC told him to take the video down, and then they've allegedly just kind of had this in their back pocket and chose to pull it out at a $250,000 tournament
on a map that Valve had asked people,
the professional community,
to help them fix and help them tune up, and there's been patches and updates to that map. And if they knew this glitch was there, they probably would have fixed it.
So this isn't a matter of like one player spitting on a referee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And an unsportsman. This is an unsportsmanlike culture within this organization. And when you call it professional esports, professional doesn't just mean that you get paid to do it. There's a connotation that comes with the word professional that means, when I say I'm a professional YouTuber, that means I make money by being a YouTuber. But if I were to say that I want to behave like a professional, then there's a whole lot more that comes along with that. The word means so much more than just I do this as a profession. And, seeing them, congratulating each other on the successful execution of this tactic means that this is just a fundamental problem with this organization.
There's obviously some diamonds in the rough. People like Pasha. Pasha's awesome. There's other guys in the community that are awesome, but there's just so much junk to sift through to get to that. And obviously, there might be a disproportionate amount of good people in the organization, but how much the guys that are screwing around get attention makes them a much larger group.
Yeah, so here's a good look at it, you guys. I'll go ahead and zoom in. So just to be clear, this is what pixel walking is. So this is obviously not a part of the map that is intended to be stood on. This guy right here has to jump on someone else to get here, and then he has to jump on top of him. So he can basically see the entire, I think it's 4 ways they can go, and he can see 3 of them.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. 3 main pathways on the map. Yeah. Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
And how pissed and or disappointed would you be if you were LDLC? Wrecking that whole match, going 12-3 at halftime, really, really good setup for the next team switch, and then just getting killed from nowhere for the entire rest of the match, just to come out of it and figure out that they were essentially glitching. Ridiculous.
All right, so I guess that's all to really say about it for now. Yeah.
Are you still trying to find that gift list?
Yeah, I would really like to find it. That's incredibly frustrating that I can't find it, but it's okay. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Nintendo patents Game Boy emulation. So this was posted by Ming on the forum, and the original article here is from Pocket Gamer. So let's go ahead and fire that up. There you go, Pocket Gamer. Oh, someone posted the gift list right before I did that. Oh, terrible. Hold on. Maybe we got it. Oh, this isn't the one that I was looking at, unfortunately.
That's not as extensive. Right?
Yeah, no, there was one I had that was
crazy long one.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the right one, unfortunately. Okay, so let's move on to. So what does this?
Apparently, Nick has sent it to you.
Apparently, Nick. Oh, he has. Okay. This better be the right one, Nick. No, that's the same one.
I'm pretty sure there's one that's longer than that, but okay. Anyways.
All right, yeah, no, it's okay. Let's move on. Okay, so Nintendo patents emulation for their Game Boy systems. Original article here is from Pocket Gamer. I'll go ahead and share this on the screen. So these are some illustrations from Nintendo's patent for an emulator that runs on mobile phones. So there's an illustration of someone playing a Game Boy. Okay, there were some more illustrations you can read a lot more details about
it's like the least helpful image patent thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, there we go. So they've got some more details about it. So the idea is maybe we could see it integrated into airline seats. We could see it running on computers, potentially on, I guess that's supposed to be a tablet. It's like, yes, this is a 1990s pocket PC that, like palm like black and white monochrome display thing that for some reason someone's playing games on. So basically there's an example of an emulator architecture, virtual core, keypad emulation, sound, blah, 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 etc. I mean, those of you who are familiar with emulation will probably already have some idea how it works, but the way that it's never worked in the past is with official sanctions from the original developers of the games. Now, in some cases, they're just not really around anymore in such a state that they would be able to defend anything. So you go back, far enough, things like Neo Geo or like MAME emulators. Yeah. But Nintendo, on the other hand, has the resources and has the existing presence to take the emulation communities, really their fun away from them, I guess. It depends on how they do this. So if they just kind of go, okay, we're going to patent emulation so that anyone creating an emulator for a Nintendo system is infringing our patent and we can legally go after them, and then they're just going to sit on all those IPs and all those old games, then that sucks. That's a super doofusy thing to do, and they need to go just get their heads out of their butts. If the intention is to patent it and then create an emulation console and then sell the titles at a reasonable price, then I have no problem with them monetizing their old IP in such a way. And that was bound to happen eventually. We've seen a little bit with things like the Virtual Console on the Wii and on the Wii U. Whereas if we saw them create more, like, because those Virtual Console games, like just the whole way they were doing that, where they were porting them, was just stupid. Yeah. When they could have just run an emulator in the first place, and then they don't have to port anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on their approach. If they're gonna wait and like remaster everything or whatever else, then that's super crappy, because there's something to be said for those retro experiences, and you can't buy those retro games anymore unless you're eBaying it, in which case the original creator of the content isn't getting anything for it anyway.
Yeah.
And there's that whole piracy argument, which frankly, I've talked about this before, but I think is silly, where it's not stealing if you don't actually remove the object from the other person in order to have it for yourself. And if you weren't going to buy it anyway, then it doesn't represent a lost revenue opportunity for the person whose content you are enjoying. That's dumb. But what isn't quite as dumb is if that content creator is no longer providing that content in any usable way to you. Well, then what are you supposed to do?
If it's impossible to purchase.
If it's not possible to purchase anymore, then... Like, we're not talking about, a limited edition Sennheiser Orpheus headphone where they make 2,000 of them and then they're not available for purchase anymore. We're talking about something that is lines of code and they're just opting not to sell it anymore. And so they're the ones that are ultimately predetermining that there's no revenue opportunity to be had, and they're forcing piracy. It's much the same way where I think there's a gray area, even with things like movies. Yes, okay, you can buy them used, but there's no... But
not even just that. You can buy them used for one.
But you're not taking away their revenue opportunity.
You can probably in the Nintendo store.
Some stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Not that much. I mean, do you know how many games there are for Super Nintendo?
Yeah, but you know how many games there are that no one is interested in playing at all on Super Nintendo?
Okay, yes. I'm just saying that in some cases it can be justified if there's no way to obtain it legally. It's in much the same way that in some countries there are a lot of movies that you just can't obtain because there's no licensing deals in place. And it's like, well, come on. What, people are just supposed to move so they can, watch... Song of Ice and Fire. I can't remember what the stupid TV show is called. Game of Thrones. I remember what the book's called.
That's funny. Wait, isn't it Fire and Ice?
Ice and Fire.
Oh.
I said it wrong once. I said Fire and Ice in like an audible.com integration or something, and I got torn apart.
I didn't mess up mine.
Yeah, well.
Yes.
Anyway, so I guess that's pretty much... Oh, yeah, so the big news here is there are popular ROM sites that are already pulling all of their ROMs because ROMs have been a very legal gray area up till now. Is it stealing if no one is selling it? I don't know.
Who knows? Also, I don't think anyone was really pursuing it because they're not selling it anymore. So
that's right.
Interesting.
Okay, Kim.com is now free. So the original article here is from Kit Guru, and the poster on the Linus Tech Tips forum was Fulgrim. And I don't know how closely you've been paying attention to the whole Kim.com thing.
I can't find any of the topics, but thank God for Control F. It's a little bit, not enough, probably. I know he's just frustrated, and I've heard lately that he might have gone bankrupt.
Well, okay.
The
bankruptcy, I think he declared himself bankrupt. His ex-wife now has control of the family trust. And if there's a trust, I suspect that means the money is not exactly all gone. So then he had to get a new lawyer or something. Anyway, the point is, Kim.com was one of the founders of Mega Upload, which was taken down, I think it was back in 2012. Wikipedia has a pretty good history of the whole thing, but the case against him, and they were trying to get him extradited from New Zealand to the States for some reason, and the whole thing's been just kind of a
mess,
a complete sham. But the argument against him was that he was responsible, and the site's owners were responsible for the copyright infringing content that was uploaded to the site and then downloaded. And the arguments went something along the lines of, because I mean, obviously Mega Upload's defense was, well, hold on a second, we didn't put it there, and we comply with DMCA takedown notices. But then the counter argument to that was, well, you guys actually have advanced filtration in place for things like child pornography, where it gets taken down automatically. Every link to it gets taken down and the file gets removed. Like, you guys are actually taking this seriously. Whereas copyrighted files, the way that the DMCA takedowns worked is all they had to remove was that link to it. And then the way that uploads to Mega Upload worked was that if you uploaded a duplicated file, then it would just say, yo, that file's already there, so do you want to just link to that one? And then a file could have many, many, many links to it, so it created basically a bottleneck in the system where it was very difficult to get things removed from it. And there are some arguments to be made, like the way that they would incentivize users to post popular things, because the more clicks it gets, I think they actually even had an incentive program where they would pay people to upload things that were going to get a lot of clicks.
Back then,
and a lot
I
of
didn't
downloads.
use Mega Upload much, so I'm not really sure.
Well, their revenue model was based on advertising, so they needed traffic, and then obviously the response to that is, well, hold on a second, just because we're incentivizing people to, thank you. Just because we're incentivizing people to visit our website doesn't mean that we're encouraging copyright infringement. So back and forth. At the end of the day, I mean, come on. You can't put me in jail because someone uploads, an MP3 of Kanye West or whatever the kids listen to these days to LinusTechTips.com if we do our best to remove it once we receive a DMCA takedown, or not even do our best, because our best is very subjective. But if we remove the infringing content once we receive a DMCA takedown notice, so he walked today. There was a hearing, and his comment on it's actually pretty funny. He posted on his Twitter that the hearing was just like the entire Mega Upload case, nonsense, excuse me. And I guess that's all I really have to say about that.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous. I'm happy he's free.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that enabling content piracy is the most, noble of...
No, but how that whole situation was dealt with
was not correct either.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Like, completely not fair and completely messed up.
The original article here is from TechSpot. This was posted on the forum by Misanthrope. And Google Fiber rolled out in Austin, Texas. So congratulations to our buddies down in Austin, Texas. You guys are super cool. Definitely cooler than us because
you have Google Fiber.
Because you have Google Fiber.
One thing that I think is interesting is, I know we're not going to touch on this a ton, but the internet access is a human right. 93% of people that use the internet think so.
83. Whatever.
Talk about, like, a very specific target audience. Polling users of a system and asking them if they think other people should use that system as well.
And should have the right to use it. Especially internet people, because you ask internet people about whether people should have the right to do anything, and they're bound to say yes. And then you ask them if they should have the right to use the internet, and I can't even imagine who the 17% of people who said no were.
Yeah, possibly trolls. I agree with it, but if you're gonna do a poll like this, at least do one that matters and has a number at the end that's oh, that's interesting, instead of oh, that's people saying they like something because they already definitely like it. Anyways,
I mean, if it's one of those things where the idea was just to get people like us to talk about it and spread awareness of the internet being important for freedom of speech and freedom of information access and all that kind of stuff, then good job.
Yeah, but if it was to move any political stuff, then I don't think it really mattered. But
Google Fiber, man. Oh, sorry.
I'm jumping back. What I found interesting is that Google is kind of solving this problem themselves. If you read part of this Google Fiber thing, you can get 5 megabits per second down and 1 megabit per second up with no monthly charge, just a $300 installation fee, which can be spread over 12 months, and then there's no charge.
That is awesome.
Google's kind of just giving people actually pretty damn good internet.
And a 5 megabit fiber line is better than it sounds, because a lot of the time what makes your internet connection slow is not actually the sheer bandwidth, it's the latency. Yeah. So that's what makes something like a web page load slowly. Sure, on 5 megabit you might not be watching 4K YouTube videos or Twitch streams, but you will have quick access to the web, which is the intention. And then for $70 a month, you get 1 gig up, 1 gig down.
And 1 terabyte of storage across Google Drive, Gmail, and Google Plus Photos. And if you pay $130 a month, you get 150 TV channels, and you can record 8 of them at once, which is actually pretty intense. So,
all right, so let's move on to our next topic here. ASRock launches an X99 board with 10 gigabit per second Ethernet. So I'm going to go ahead. This original article here is from Anantech.com, and I've been saying for a while that I would like to see motherboards with 10 gig Ethernet built into them. However, I'm not necessarily sure if this one is the answer. So this is a workstation type grade board. It's estimated, it's going to be out in December, so it's not actually available yet, but it's estimated that it will be out sometime in December at the price of around $800 to $900. So I believe it's in the article here. So it's actually got 2 10 gigabit RJ45 ports at the back. And they are running off, I believe it's an Intel chipset. Yeah, Intel X520T2. And then down here, what do we've got?
1, 2, 3, 4.
2 of them are 1 gigabit, and then 2 of them are 10 gigabit. The cooling solution actually extends down over the 10 gigabit Ethernet port, so presumably that's dealing with the extra heat being kicked off by the chipset. that controls that, and then there's also an active cooler on the PCH down here that takes care of all your SATA connectivity, USB, and all that kind of stuff. So this is one beast of a board, but looking at the article, so there's a couple PLX chips under that heatsink with the cooler as well. So they can actually do 16x, 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 16x with 4 PCI Express cards. But here we go. Ah, shoot. I can't find it. Anyway, I can't find the discussion about it. But basically there were people saying that, oh, well, you know, that might actually be a pretty good value because at $800 to $900, it includes, you know, a $400 10 gigabit Ethernet card. But you can actually get 10 gigabit Ethernet cards for like $350, I believe. And of course, this is going to be the one time that Newegg search completely lets me down. Networking, wired networking. So I'll look this up sort of offline, and then I'll go find something here. Wired routers. Do you want to cover the next topic here?
I was completely off page. Give me 1 second. I will try to find it.
I can do that. We'll see. We'll race. We'll see who can find things first.
All right. Supreme Court is talking about tackling online threats for the first time, and this is actually kind of scary for a few reasons. It's coming up because Anthony Alonis, I might be saying that right, is convicted after writing graphic, gory fantasies about viciously murdering his wife and other women and posting them to Facebook. Ew.
Yeah, sorry.
I've already read them, but saying that out loud is just really
You're a gross dude. Oh, by the way, I found it. So it's $333. So at $800 to $900, but that's for a single port one, just to be clear. Yeah. So at $800 to $900, you can buy yourself a pretty nice X99 board and a 10 gigabit NIC if you really want one and not spend that much. And depending on how you feel about ASRock, you'll have a lot more options in terms of the motherboard. Okay, so Supreme Court, yes.
I already said the gross part, so we can continue on from there. I'm just hoping you all remember it. The Supreme Court is judging whether a... where is it? Essentially, I can't remember exactly where it's here in terms of wording, and I know exact wording is very important for legal stuff, but a lot of it is based around, literally, would it be a teenager playing from League of Legends or a grandfather posting on his fly fishing forum? So what they're trying to describe with that is the threat real? If anyone here in the audience has played online video games, kind of expecting everybody.
Can you not?
You've probably heard at some point in time a really bad comment from someone.
Yeah, like there's that classic one, I'm an ex-Marine with X number of confirmed kills, I'm going to come in...
Yeah, the copy pasta. Like, there's... I'm gonna whatever your mom. There's all the crap that gets thrown around online. And, like, every time anyone says that, I'm just like, oh, whatever. You can't think of something better. Yeah. Like, it's not, oh no, I'm fearful for my life. Or my mom. Because those are really common insults on the internet. But, that's the problem with this, is we have to be really careful with that line. Because, like, that negates almost anything said on so many platforms. But then that's going to open the door to so many people slamming the legal system with like, oh, look at this screenshot I got in League of Legends of this guy saying he's going to come attack my mom. Like, oh my god.
And then the flip side of that is,
the flip side of that is that we might need something
do we need legislation in place to keep people from acting like complete doofus wads on the internet?
Doofus wads. See, if this comes into play, everyone's gonna be calling each other freaking doofus wads, and the internet's gonna be ridiculous.
Maybe the world would be a better place if we called each other doofus wad instead of talking about what we're gonna do to each other's mothers. I like your mother, so
my mom's pretty nice. I don't know if she's seen the
probably.
I don't. It's a very fine line that they have to walk.
So the accused claims his posts were meant as rap lyrics, not as genuine threats. Which and then if all of a sudden we're gonna go, okay, well no, it's not okay to say those things in rap lyrics, then we get into freedom of expression and art and all that kind of stuff. And so, I suspect this will not go through. I suspect he will walk away completely scot-free from all of this and the internet won't change.
And while he's kind of maybe... I haven't read his posts, but just that description, and maybe I should if I want to comment, but I really don't want to. But just that description is disgusting, and from that description, maybe he's a disgusting person. I haven't read them again, and that could be glorifying whatever. It could be a... what is that called? When the title... sensational title.
Headline.
It could be a sensationalist thing. It might not be that intense. It probably is, but I don't know. But while that is disgusting, there's going to be a lot of people on the internet that might even just be joking to a friend.
Yep.
It could be within friends. Something is said. Someone else sees it and then goes like, "Oh,
sometimes
this is bad."
people don't put /sarcasm. Yeah, like
almost
ever.
Yeah, I know it's fairly common on Twitch to do the kappa thing. What if you don't know what kappa means?
And then there might
it's
be
not common elsewhere.
There might be a case by case. I mean, so a lot of the argument here is around arguing for an objective standard, meaning that a threat would count as a threat if a reasonable person would think the statement is a threat. And reasonable person has a legal definition.
Yeah, it does.
And then so there's also subjective intent. So whether he intended to scare his wife with the threat might be more important here, not necessarily whether he intended to follow through on it. And a lot of spousal abuse is a great example because threats are used to great effect, because the way that it works, and this is actually a super creepy conversation that I had with my mom once about someone that she knew who was the subject of a beaten wife sort of situation. And what she said was, he only hit me once, but after that, this is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if the idea is that that this is a verbal threat with maybe some weight behind it in the past, maybe there's some history there, then is it really any different? Yeah, so I'll be interested to see how that goes. Let's move on to the very sensationalist headline here. This is from kitguru.net. I don't think we said the OP for the last one. That was Ryu Kun.
Yeah.
Kun, whatever. Kitguru.net posts Activision using YouTube copyright system to hide glitches in Call of Duty. So let's go ahead and post that up there. I'll also share this on the forum here. Now, this is a little bit sort of jumping the gun, and Activision has fired back and said, whoa, hold on a second. We didn't intend for it to hide, game bugs. We want those reported. We'll fix that stuff. But what we intended, so it says glitch/cheat videos. That's the important word here in the headline from KitGuru. What we wanted was for people to stop posting cheats. We're trying to get cheating reduced in the game, and having people not post it all over the internet would be pretty freaking helpful. If you guys would all just please help us out with this a little bit. We're trying to make it a fun gaming experience, not full of CSGO professional players who are...
Counter-Strike.
Yeah, CSGO.
And, while that's honorable and everything, and actually probably not a bad idea, they're going about it the wrong way, because this can permanently hurt channels.
Yep, and, I mean, it's for them to hear about it from... So this was an email from Machinima to some of their partners. Yo, dogs, maybe, ease up on this, because you might actually get... Because, okay, the problem is that a YouTube community guidelines strike has the potential to permaban your channel if you get a few of them. And to get one for something as innocuous as posting an in-game glitch or an in-game cheat... Which is
fine almost all the time.
So using the takedown policy on YouTube is and causing potentially irreparable harm to channels is not the right way to deal with this. So I still think Activision's digging here, even if their goal may have been noble. But the thing is, a lot of the time, I think big companies because they can retract their claims, and the strikes do go away. And strikes do expire eventually as well. I've had a strike in the past. It was a complete misunderstanding, but I didn't end up filing my dispute early enough or something. I knew I wasn't going to get any more strikes, so I didn't deal with it, and they expire after, I think, 6 months. But, a lot of the time they might just not even think about it. Hey, this is someone's livelihood, and these strikes can get their YouTube permabanned.
YouTube still isn't necessarily understood properly by everyone.
I don't understand YouTube properly. I made a video where we threw stuff at you. I thought it was comedy gold, and it turns out people hate it. So there you go. Shows you what I know.
Yeah.
Actually, we've done. I've done a few unpopular things lately. I'm on a bit of an unpopular roll, but the truth of the matter is, I'm human. I thought the whole thing with the teasing future videos and the innuendo I thought that my response to it was funny. Apparently a lot of people didn't think it was funny.
What was your response to that?
You didn't see that?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. In our test bench video, I basically said something along the lines of, well, we've been receiving a lot of complaints about teasing future videos at the beginning of our videos and the amount of innuendo in our videos. So I'd like to, I wanted to, formally address this, but instead, here's a teaser of an upcoming video. And then I compared open test benches and closed cases to boxers versus briefs, which is not actually sexual.
No.
And that's an important distinction here, because I had people giving me a hard time.
I thought you were going somewhere else with open test benches.
Boxers and briefs. I didn't think that
there's a lot you could do with open test benches.
I mean, it is arguably potty humor.
But is it?
Sort of. It's underwear. Come on, underwear is lowbrow.
But it's not like...
But boxers and briefs is also kind of just one of those classics, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's okay. I had intended for the way it was going to work in the intro. I had intended for it to also have kind of a humorous acknowledgement that what I was doing was stupid and not funny, where I wanted a hook to appear from the side of the screen and then reach for me to pull me off the stage. But we couldn't find anything. We could have used this boom pole.
C-stand.
Yeah, boom pole would have worked perfectly.
Boom pole.
We were in a hurry and we couldn't find anything to kind of do that with, and then yeah.
Oh well. Apparently it didn't work, so.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't funny anyway, so. There you go, guys. Some people thought so. I thought so still.
Some people thought my thing with you guys throwing at me was... The main complaint I got was that they couldn't understand. But then, I rewatched it and I could hear everything, so I didn't really get that part.
I understand that it was kind of distracting, but...
Yeah, I guess. Oh well. We tried.
Sometimes
work.
we fail,
yeah.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
We hope you guys forgive us. Speaking of forgiving us, Panasonic's Lumix CM1. I am willing to forgive anything Panasonic might have ever done in the past.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going with that one.
I wasn't going anywhere with that.
Okay.
Tom'sHardware.co.uk posted this one, and this looks freaking awesome. Now, I originally said this back when Samsung did the Galaxy camera. Why isn't it a phone? Why isn't it a phone? Well, Panasonic finally did this right. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up. The Lumix CM1 will have a 1-inch sensor in what is otherwise a phone, a Leica lens, and it's planned to go on sale for somewhere in the neighborhood of a very, very entry-level kind of, I don't even know what to call, like a high-end point and shoot. Because it's kind of in the, I think it's in the 900 pound range, so it's not cheap.
Oh, okay. I was going to say a high-end phone, but I thought that was dollars, not pounds.
No, it's a bit more expensive than a high-end phone, but it's, okay, so here we go. Blah, 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 blah. The Lumix CM1 pixels are 4 times bigger compared to the Lumia 1020s. But it has half as many pixels, but they're 4 times bigger, which means they can capture more light. So in comparison, the HTC One's ultra pixels were only 40 to 80% larger than other high-end smartphones at the time. So basically, what this is going to mean is we're finally going to have something that just sheer to the way that physics works, okay? Bigger light capturing area, much larger, much better, much bigger lens element in front of it, better pictures. This should be, assuming they don't completely screw it up, the best smartphone camera available, period. And it's not going to cost that much more than an iPhone 6 or 6 Plus.
I've wanted this for a little while because there's a lot of people that want their phones to be able to last a while, be able to call and text people, and take good pictures. Like, that's all they really want. And there you go. So 20 megapixel stills in both JPEG and RAW formats, as well as 4K video recording, although only at 15 FPS, which is likely a limitation of the Snapdragon 801 SoC. So that's from the Tom's Hardware article. Let me just see, blah, 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 blah. So they've decided to position it more like a camera than a smartphone from the overall look of the device to the controls. And they're also calling it a compact camera with smartphone technology. But I hope people glom onto this because I think it is really cool. I'm really tired of
phones being sold based on their cameras, which frankly, none of them are that great, we might as well have a camera that's sold based on the incredible additional functionality it has thanks to not only Android, because we've seen Android cameras before, but also the fact that you can actually just make phone calls from it and literally only have one device that you need to carry around with you for people who are shutterbugs.
Really cool. Really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The ring around the lens will allow manual control of aperture, ISO, shutter speeds, and white balance.
That's
and it's
awesome.
expected to be available on December 1st. Sorry, it was an estimated €900, not pounds.
Because dealing with those features on a touchscreen is sometimes really not cool.
Yeah.
So it's actually nice that they're making that hardware stuff.
No, I think it's fantastic. What else we got here? We actually don't have a ton of topics left. We've been blowing through stuff. What's up? Oh, yeah, right, sponsors.
Been trying to point at that for like half an hour. It's okay, though.
Yay, sponsors. All right, so we got a couple sponsors for you guys today. Our first sponsor is Squarespace. Visit squarespace.com/Linus for a free trial and 10% off. Use offer code Linus. So for those of you who still don't know what Squarespace is, it's funny how many people tell us, well, hey, LinusTechTips.com is down an awful lot. Don't you guys use Squarespace? Yes, but not on LinusTechTips.com. We use it on LinusMediaGroup.com, which is our zero maintenance, always working company website, not our community website. You can't run a forum on Squarespace. The way that Squarespace works is they do provide hosting in much the same way that you could run a forum on a host, but they also provide a web platform for developing your website to make it not only functional, but also beautiful. So they provide a wide variety of different templates, all of which will work either on, a desktop or a notebook or even scale down to a smartphone. They've got their new partnership with Getty Images so that, and this is something I've talked about before, but it feels very self-serving. So you can get affordable images from Getty Images so that Squarespace is basically ensuring that people who build Squarespace sites will have them look as good as they expect them to look, because you could make an ugly Squarespace site.
It's possible.
You could find ugly stuff and put it on the nicest template in the world and you'd still manage to make an ugly site. But Squarespace's whole mandate is that they want people to make beautiful websites that are functional and they want to make it easy. So they have 24/7 tech support. It's only $8 a month and you get a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year, which is about a $10 to $15 value depending on the domain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, depending on...
Yeah, because some domains are more expensive. I mean, you could pay a lot more than that for a domain. And Squarespace won't give you one of those ones for free. It's
no.
I want water.com.
Microsoft.
No.
First of all, not for sale. Second of all, would be a lot. Yeah.
So you can start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today. And when you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure you use offer code Linus so they know who sent you. Have you made much progress on your Squarespace site yet?
Nope.
Oh, all right.
I've been busy on our own.
Oh, yeah, you've been busy on LinusTechTips.com, moving it all over the internet and doing unscheduled maintenance and all that kind of stuff.
I do want to make progress on it, though, and I still plan on it. I also want to get a not Moto X so that I can take better photos to put on it.
Right.
Which is a thing.
You should get that new Panasonic one. It actually looks really compelling.
I know. I am interested in it. I was interested in one previously, but then it wasn't coming to North America at all. And it wasn't this one. It was a different camera with a phone on it kind of idea. Because I think that's really cool. Because it's I used to be a pretty crazy power user on my phone, but that was when I was commuting a lot on public transit to school and to work and stuff. So I would use it for games and work. I would write essays on my phone, or I would do whatever on my phone.
Hey,
so then I was on my phone a lot, and now I'm not on my phone as much. So now I use it for texting, Hangouts,
Instagram,
calling.
You're a social media junkie now.
Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff,
him.
which is not difficult for your phone to do. And then I try to take pictures on it, and I'm like, wow.
You should get an iPhone.
It's really bad at doing this. All the photos look horrible. I tried to take a picture of that chunk that the fan took out of my finger.
Right. Why did you take a picture of that?
So I was like, look what the fan did. I don't know, whatever. And the Moto X would not focus on it because I had to get my phone too close to it. But too close was this far away. Right. I'm like, just do it. Oh, I'm so tired of
camera. And the way that camera apps still give you a hard time about locking focus really, really, really bothers me. It's no, just touch. It's easy to use. Touch anywhere on the screen to take a picture. That is not easy to use if I actually
Please
want
don't.
a particular
Yes.
thing to be in focus.
Oh.
Our other sponsor today is 5-4 Club, and these guys are kind of on fire lately. Not content to have me just talk about how 5-4 Club are good guys, and you can get $120 or more worth of clothing every month for $60 a month, and it's hand-selected by people who go through your style profile that you create in about a minute and send you stuff that's going to make you look good. Well, they just did a huge giveaway where they gave away, what was it, a 5-year membership? I think it was a 5-year membership
yeah.
to 5-4 Club to one of our lucky viewers. But now they're actually doing a Black Friday deal, so you can get your second month free. So you get essentially $180 worth of clothing in your first package. So that's excuse me. So following months. Okay, whatever. I don't understand it anymore. I swear I can never get a 5-4. Okay, here. Let me just. I don't know when they send it to you. But you sign up, you pay $60 for your first month, and at some point, whether they send it all in your first package or they send the 2 next packages for free, you get 3 months. No, right. So you get, whatever. You get $180 worth. So the $60 covers. I'm sure Nick is going to come running in here like it's on fire. Okay.
Because it's $120 worth because it's twice how much you're paying, and then it's half of...
Okay, the full details are on 54club.com. Basically... Okay, if you guys like the idea of not going into a store... Thank you, Nick. Hi.
$180 worth of clothes in your first package. You're thinking of the other one.
Okay.
That's not this one.
And it's...
$60 for your first month's package gets you $180 worth of clothing.
And normally it would be $120, right?
Normally it would be $120 worth of clothing.
And so the following month you get the normal, like,
Just
sticker price,
For the
$120.
first month you get an extra $60 of clothing
Okay.
included in your first package.
Okay.
And you use that offer code on screen.
Okay, use the offer code.
Okay.
Nobody should sponsor the show. Wow. No, I thought you get...
I thought you get them. Sad Linus.
Why are you mocking me?
My favorite one. Oh man, so many people were focused on not liking the video that they didn't notice the awesome things that happened in it. But when like my hand got cut or whatever, guys, no. That was fantastic. Anyway, sorry. I guess we can continue with the show. The amount of face palms in chat right now is glorious.
I know. And you know, it's always 5-4 Club. Well, they keep changing things. They keep changing their offers. Sometimes they're putting cash in the package. Sometimes they're doing free items. Sometimes they're doing a giveaway. I don't know what these guys are doing. The point is, you don't have to leave your house. And you can still look like you leave your house and shop and are like a, you know... Look good. Okay. Sony compensating PS Vita owners after false advertising. So in addition to overstating the device's ability to link up to the PlayStation 3, staff at the firm's ad agency are also accused of using their personal Twitter accounts to mislead the public. So to qualify for the payout, users must live in the US and have bought a Vita before the 1st of June 2012. Those affected should be able to choose either $25 cash or credit refund or a $50 voucher, which can be spent on a selection of video games or other services. I guess that's pretty much all there is.
That's pretty much it. So if you happen to buy one, go get your money.
Yep. So this was posted by How To Gaming on the forum, and the original article is from the BBC.
Can you do this topic in the least amount of words possible? Because I think it'll be hilarious.
Okay. I will take that challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just screen share the post here. Don't worry. Everything is fine. So this was originally posted on the forum by SFF 006.
Not fine.
Hold on. Oh, no. Okay, I have an idea. There we go. All good? Yes.
Sure.
All right, SOF 006. And there's a video. And the video is basically IGN News saying a thing for like 30 seconds.
Because that's what they do.
And why is the Xbox One so big? Because I think we all are pretty much on the same page about how the Xbox One is significantly larger than the PlayStation 4, contains basically the same hardware, but a less powerful version of it, contains no internal power supply thanks to its massive external brick, whereas the PlayStation 4 has an internal brick, and the PlayStation 4 doesn't have any overheating issues. Well, Microsoft's response is, in as few words as possible, RROD, which is no words, only letters.
What even is that?
RROD?
Yeah.
Come on! You had several of them.
Yeah. Raid Ring of Death. There
Yes.
we go. Yeah.
So basically they said, look, it's for cooling. And I think that they have a great point here. There is no purpose in... personally, I don't care about external power bricks. I don't think they're a big deal. If you have a game console, you probably also have a TV. If you care that much, tape it to the back of your TV or something. Who cares about a power brick? And then having better cooling for the unit without adding additional cost for, you know, like intricate heat pipe systems or whatever else is a totally legitimate reason to have something be a little bit bigger, as long as it's not too big. And when you look at the Xbox One console, well, it's meant to fit in, you know, like a media center cabinet. And as long as it still fits in there, it's going to be fine. And that's the problem is, you know, people going, oh, well, you know, it runs like, you know, super awesome cool. Well, you probably are running it responsibly outside the cabinet, you know, not next to a, you know, heater vent.
Yeah.
Whereas we're talking consoles. Anyone can buy a console and they could put it inside a cabinet with a heater vent under it and run games with the door closed because it looks nice.
It could be possible. One thing that I have to bring up about the brick thing, people wall mount their TVs, strapping it to the back of the TV is not as much of an option. If someone is playing in a dorm room and playing off a monitor, it still could potentially be an issue because you're not going to strap it to the back of your monitor.
Okay, well, where's their monitor sitting? Is it on the wall?
No.
Okay, then they can put it under the desk.
There might be very limited room under the desk.
Well, then they can tape it to the
You
side of
haven't
their
lived
desk.
in a dorm, have you?
No.
That much space literally matters.
Speaking of that much space mattering, guys, let me know and let me know on Twitter if you want me to do a video on my my plan to. Well, okay, you kind of know this already, I guess, but I have like too many pairs of headphones.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, this is a new thing, not that thing yet. I haven't heard from Ruckus yet about the wireless access points for the other thing.
I was thinking something else.
Oh, okay.
The size thing with the stuff.
Wow.
I'm trying to be super vague.
Yeah, you are being vague. Why don't you just type it while I talk about the new plan? So I've got about 20 pairs of headphones, and people kind of go, well, why do you need so many pairs of headphones? And the reason is that anytime I'm going to evaluate a pair of headphones, your memory for what something sounds like exactly is on the order of seconds, as opposed to being able to listen to headphones 6 months ago and like remember and be able to compare it to something new. So I actually have to maintain a fairly substantial collection of headphones in order to do side-by-side comparison. And I'm not doing blind A/B testing yet, but at some point I'd like to switch to something like that in the future. But for now, I'm at least trying to continue to improve the process. So that means having things for side-by-side comparison. That means having a sound level meter so that I can make sure that they are all dialed into the same volume before I'm testing, because things that are louder subjectively sound better to us. That's fact. That's like period. If you're not using a sound level meter in order to ensure that the headphones are at the same volume level when you're listening to them, then who knows? I mean, it's just a freaking guess. So I was wondering if you guys want to see me do like a blog video or something on like a wall management system for headphones or something like that. So let me know.
Cool.
Let me know on Twitter if you're interested in that. Oh yeah, no, actually. Oh, okay, totally unrelated to that, but SLI, tiny PC, something like that. Okay, go ahead and do another topic in the meantime.
Okay.
Shoot, where is that?
Another topic. Give me a second. Oh, okay. So Smash Bros. Was Wii U's fastest selling title in the US. That's not surprising at all. I think everyone saw that coming. But it is official, and one of the biggest complaints I've seen about this launch at all is the fact that it's difficult to go out and buy the controller adapters so you can play GameCube games on it because they're selling out so quickly. which in comparison to a lot of launches lately is not that bad of a complaint. It's kind of awesome. I think it was the Watch Dogs release on Wii U was so underwhelming that it was outsold by some like super old game, but I don't remember what it was. The stats for that isn't in here because like no one cared. And I know people at Nintendo are trying to push for like big new other like third-party AAA titles on Nintendo, but no one cares. Just keep making games like Smash. That's all we really want anyways.
Okay, this is cool. This is kind of related to what he was talking about, but only sort of. This is an Indiegogo project that didn't get funded. I tend not to like to talk too much about crowdfunding projects on the show, just because so much of the stuff that I've crowdfunded... Oh, why is that not working? This was up earlier today. All right. Well, I tend not to like to talk about it too much, because so much of the stuff that I've crowdfunded and so many of the stories that I've seen are just sort of a disaster. I don't like to give these guys too much attention if they haven't done anything in particular to deserve it. But this one is pretty cool, and if I can get the page to load, I'll bring it up. But basically, it's like an M-ATX super tiny case that is capable of having 2 graphics cards installed in it, which I think is pretty darn cool. And if any page with any kind of reference to it would load, maybe this Tom's Hardware one, then I would be able to show it to you guys, and you would be able to appreciate its greatness. Do you want to move on to the next topic in the meantime while I struggle to...
Again, I don't have one, but I will try to find one.
Welcome to the show, guys. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are.
I'm going to go off sheet and talk about what happened with Inquisition a little bit more, stuff that didn't really end up in the video. So we've had problems with the past where there will be DRM on games that doesn't allow you to activate it too many times, and it would automatically activate in the background if you change hardware on your computer. So if I'm testing graphics cards, I'm changing a lot of freaking cards, especially if it's not working at the beginning. So,
which it rarely is.
Yeah. So, anyways, that happened with Dragon Age Inquisition. It locked me out after we had figured out like what exactly we wanted to do with the testing and how exactly we were going to do it, which was the unfortunate in-game benchmark. So I called them up.
I think unfortunate is a generous word to use to describe that in-game benchmark.
It is. So I guess I didn't call them up. You have to go on their website and sign up for them to call you, which is not that bad, I guess.
It's not great.
But I would rather that I could call them and then get on the list for them to call me back, because doing the site thing was just kind of annoying. Anyways, they called me back in like an hour or something, and then the very nice lady on the phone, but very, very nice lady, surprisingly nice lady on the phone, had to send me off to someone else, and that was fine. And then that dude that picked up was super nice, and that whole experience was great, and that was awesome. And I was actually really, really happy, because usually we trash on EA, and I was like, I'm finally gonna have something nice to say about them. And then my game went invalid again, and I had to get them to call me again, and they never called me.
Oh, EA, you tried. And you know what?
The people behind the phones are super nice.
But the policies
and the developers are probably awesome.
Yeah. So who's bad? Someone's bad.
Executives?
I don't know.
I guess that's
I don't
where
know
the
who's
blame
bad.
lands.
And the frustrating thing about this is we actually had the same problem back with Crysis 2. And that one had a lot more activations, for one thing. So it took us... we had been through several, benchmarking sessions with it before it ever actually ran out of activations. And then when we called them that time, they said, well, we can't give you unlimited activations, but we totally understand your situation, but we can give you 50. And we have easily run it more than 50 times since then. So I'm pretty sure that they gave it like a lot more than that. So the fact that they didn't do it this time is very frustrating.
What he did was he reissued me the game. He actually deleted the game off my account and then gave it to me again.
Oh, that's terrible. That means we can never use Inquisition as a benchmarking title then, because we'll just keep running out of them and we'll keep having to be reissued games. That's ridiculous.
And every single time we have to be reissued a game, we would have to call them back, and it's been super crazy frustrating.
All right, so I found this thing. So Luke was talking about that case that I want built that is about the size of a console and kind of how I want the internals laid out, and that's fine. Silverstone has already given me heck about not coming to them with my ideas, because they, and probably rightly so, see themselves as the leaders in properly cooled small form factor cases, in unique form factor cases especially. And B, they were like, well, we have some concerns with your idea because of this, and this. So I'm actually planning to discuss it with them at CES.
Cool.
And we'll see if maybe something comes of it. I have no idea. But this is pretty cool. So this is a crowdfunded project that never made it, that intended to put an M-ATX board with PCI Express extenders and the graphics cards literally right up against a mesh side panel, keeping any of the air, as long as you have a blower style graphics card, keeping any of the heat from the graphics card from contaminating any of the other components. And this was a critical part of the design for my case, was we were going to be able to keep it small by using maybe a duct or something to have the graphics card directly intake fresh air from outside, filters of course, and then blow it out the case. And so I thought this one was pretty cool. I think it's a shame it didn't get funded. But then again, maybe it isn't, because maybe they had no real business model anyway, like so many crowdfunding.
I think a lot of people didn't know about it, though. Like, everyone in the comments is like, oh, wow, that's super cool. Wow, that's beautiful. Superb. Awesome. Yay. Cool.
Whoa, hold on a second. Their crowdfunding campaign was a disaster, but apparently NCIX Tech Tips has one coming. Oh, well, there you go.
So they're probably doing it anyways?
I'll be checking it out.
That's cool.
Cool. Well, there you go. That was a bit of a different spin on that than I was expecting. I've got wheels from... okay. The guy funded the first run out of his own pocket. So like so many of these crowdfunding campaigns, the crowdfunding is probably just, a way to help do something that they were already planning to try to do anyway. Moving. I had a few people comment that it was presumptuous of us to put "we're moving" in our thumbnail when we were crowdfunding for the move. The crowdfunding is to help with the move.
We're moving.
To help us build sets. We are moving. We are going to move. It might take longer. We might not be able to afford nice sets or, proper acoustic dampening this or that at first. It might take us longer. The crowdfunding is to help us. We are moving. We have to move. We cannot stay here. Yeah. So that's basically all there is to that. Speaking of the move, I actually had kind of an interesting exchange with Logan from Tech Syndicate today, and you know what? The truth of the matter is, I don't blame him for this. Because when I watched the part of the tech that it came from, it was obvious that they were goofing around. They were talking about my badminton gambling debts and Wendell building a robot bird that was stuck in a badminton center that I uploaded a video of a bird that was stuck in, on my Linus Cat Tips channel 2 or 3 years ago, and they, zoom in on the thing, and they're like, blah, 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 Illuminati, and, so somewhere in that whole obviously goofing around, trolling the heck out of everyone segment, they said something like, we made $2.4 million last year. And
so amongst robot, chicken, bird, gambling, badminton, people decided that was true.
People decided that was true because, obviously we have a relationship with the guys at Tech Syndicate. We've collaborated with them on projects before. So obviously Linus shares all the financial details of his company. And based on the size of Logan's channel.
Conversation.
Yeah, based on the size of Logan's channel and how many, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that Tech Syndicate brings in, obviously Linus is making $2.4 million a year, right? So I basically went, dude, can you issue a public sort of retraction of that? Because people are misinterpreting it and going, oh, you guys are crowdfunding when you make $2.4 million a year. And he's like, what? Why would I have to do that?
It's a joke.
It's a joke. And I'm just like, it would mean a lot to me if you just said something. So he's like, okay. And he sends out a tweet today. And so I retweeted it. I'm like, yeah, obviously a joke. And then now he's emailing me. He's like, oh, I kind of feel bad. And so public statement from me, dude, don't feel bad. I laughed throughout the whole segment, and I didn't even notice, because I assumed that I hadn't even watched the part with the 2.4 million part, because I didn't notice it. I had actually watched that part, I just didn't notice it because it was all silly, and I was looking at, Illuminati bird, conspiracy garbage, not that. So Yeah, dude, don't feel bad. I thought it was funny. It's just a couple people on the internet that apparently take things way too seriously. And the only reason that I was upset and sort of asked for him to clarify it was because we are taking some flack over our crowdfunding campaign in general, and people misinterpreting him and then repeating it as if it's fact loses the context of the joke.
Yeah.
And so that is the problem, not anything about the joke that was an issue. So, anyway. Sony has an innovative watch. I think innovative is a word. This was originally posted by Tech Dreamer, and the original article here is... the one that I liked better was from Gizbot, I think, here. Of an innovative watch made entirely out of e-paper. So there's a... I need a faster way to I need to set up like a tab system so that I can sort of alt tab and I can oh, my Gizbot link is no good. Anyway, the watch is made entirely out of e-paper. They've got the strap and the watch surface are made out of e-paper, and the idea is that you can change the look of your watch very easily. So you could have like, it looks kind of like leather, or it looks kind of like metal finishing.
And with e-paper, that could actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah, they're claiming a 60-day battery, although none of this has been verified, off of a regular watch battery. So 60-day battery life off of a watch battery. And here, let me just fix the link. Boom, there it is.
With the amount of jerking around we've had lately with freaking battery life.
I know. I know. But it looks pretty cool. So there's a video in the CNET link here. I'm just gonna fire this up, and you guys can check it out. So there we go. Hopefully I don't get a strike for this. I've actually gotten copyright complaints from playing promotional videos for things in my WAN Show.
Wasn't it from someone who wanted us to?
It was I think it was LG, I want to say. Basically, their PR firm wasn't talking to the right people and miscommunicated something. Anyway, so the point is, oh, look how eye-grabbing this is. No, I don't think it's that attention-grabbing. I think this is a bit of a silly video, but I also think they're having some fun with it. Now, you might have noticed that the company... Whoa, hold on a second. What was that? That doesn't say Sony. That says Fashion Entertainments. The S is for Fashion Entertainments. And this very tired-looking man tells us about how it can the look of it can be customized. It doesn't have a lot of the more traditional or even expected smartwatch features, things like heart rate monitor this and that, but looks cool.
I don't know if I care.
Oh, I'm not gonna buy one.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone should.
I like the idea.
Yeah, but you get the combination of the annoyances that you've had, where if you're playing badminton, it's either going to be a strobe light, or when you actually want to look at it, it's not going to be able to turn on. So you have the annoyances of it just not always being on. Then you have it running off of a watch battery that only lasts for 60 days.
But look at these shoes. They change colors with every step.
It's a watch, though. It's not your shoes.
No. The technology. They're looking at bow ties, watches, shoes. Here's the bow tie one. I don't know if the watch is the right product.
Maybe the other stuff is a better product than the watch.
But the concept...
As a smartwatch, I don't think it makes any sense. I think as a fashion watch, maybe, but then you're probably better off getting something that isn't this and isn't going to die off a watch battery in 60 days, because replacing that's a lot more annoying than charging something.
I mean, this will be eye-grabbing, that's for sure.
If it's super cheap, I guess it could work as a party favor.
Yeah, it'll be a long time before it's that cheap, but I don't know. I think it's cool what they're doing. It should be noted that there is no Sony branding on it, so FES, Fashion Entertainments, is a subsidiary of Sony, even though they're not really talking about it. And they've actually raised 3.5 million yen, $30,000 from more than 150 supporters via crowdfunding in order to get this idea off the ground. I do find it interesting that a company like Sony, if we're going to get criticized for crowdfunding, then Sony, mind you, Sony's more broke than us. They have more assets, but they may have less.
Due to assets, I think they're not more broke than us.
Okay, but no, I know, but like if we look at it
Because
in terms
that's like saying like, oh yeah, the dude on the street has 15 cents in his cup, and I own a house, so I'm way more in debt, and he should be giving me money. Like that's that same broken logic.
it is broken logic, but they made less money than us last year. Even if we only made $1, we made more money than Sony.
Because they made negative, right?
Yes.
But then they still have their assets.
I know they have the assets. Holy crap! Is it 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So,
and Linus is now broken.
yeah, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I still really wanted to talk about. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Isn't it like totally just a concept?
Yeah, this is a crowdfunding thing.
I was wondering why that was.
No, but again, they have a crowdfunding campaign, even though most of the time the crowdfunding video at least sort of shows off a sort of functional product of some sort. This secret bracelet is just obviously not even anything other than a pipe dream. I mean, the idea behind it is very cool. So there was a simple sketch, then a first molding, now it's a dream. Okay, a simple sketch and a molding, the jump to dream is not real far. Not a whole lot of progress has been made.
Yeah.
Basically, the way they want this to work is you'd have this bracelet that projects your phone onto your wrist. And they're like, oh yeah, the way it's going to work is, let's see, no, they don't have any diagrams here. I kind of wonder if this is just a way to drive more traffic to their secret app, which is just like an encrypted messaging app, because I can't imagine they're going to build this. And you can even tell from their campaign video, like the campaign video looks pretty sleek, and if it wasn't so poorly done, I might even believe they'd made some progress on it. But this is just nothing, and then this is just a motion tracked screen, and then you can see like they're just kind of completely faking it. The motion tracking on this one's particularly bad. You can see it wobbling around on his skin. See? Because he's not holding his wrist still enough. So the way it's supposed to work is there's like a pico projector thing here, and then there's proximity sensors all along the edge here, so that as you put down your finger, you stop the beam and it knows how far away your finger is. It knows which beam you broke, and then it's figure out where you press. But the problem with that is they show things like typing on a keyboard, and then if we go later on in the campaign video, like I can see how people who aren't that tech savvy might fall for this, but this is just straight up not going to work. I wish I could find the part of the video. Yeah, there we go. So with 7 of those, if the way it works is by interrupting the beams, you will not be typing on a keyboard. It will have no idea where you're pressing. Well, with that level of detail.
They'd have to come out with their own keyboard, and it would have to be like, you know how old phones would work where you like tap something a number amount of times? So like if you interrupt these 2 beams twice.
No, it wouldn't be like that, because they could have an on-screen keyboard. As long as it all lined up and the buttons were nice and big, then it could work, because it knows how far away you are and it knows which beam you interrupt.
Can it track how far away you interrupted that beam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it could work, but it won't work with any kind of traditional keyboard, and it's obviously nothing more than just like, basically like a Razer project. Is it Christine?
Christina or
Project Christine,
or something.
Yeah. From CES last year. Apparently, they're still interested in that. I think they're having a hard time getting hardware partners.
Called it.
What else
it
we got
just
here?
costs so much. Yeah.
Oh, this is one more just kind of silly thing that I wanted to talk about. So the dedicated 1-key hash key is now available. Also a silly crowdfunding thing, if I recall correctly. So this was originally posted by a Linux user on the forum. And here's the...
isn't original. He just ripped off the Control-Delete keyboard.
Yeah. But now it's for social media junkies rather than people who want to restart their computers. It's called HashKey, and it's an idea for a tiny 1-key keyboard that only does one thing. Put hashtags instantly.
Okay. Cool.
It's actually doing not bad. Like the crowdfunding campaign.
Because people are just going to get... Because he launched it at the right time. Because people just want to buy it for Christmas stuff. It's a cool stocking stuffer.
Not going to be available in time for Christmas.
I know, but it's Christmas, so you're in Christmas shopping mood.
Yeah.
Annoying my mom, if she buys it, I don't know, 5 years before Christmas, it's probably fine.
Now, one commenter here on Gizmodo actually brought up a very good point. and said, have y'all ever seen a British... It's a British Kickstarter. Have y'all ever seen a British Mac keyboard? Where is the hash key? Whoa.
Good. Who cares?
Whoa.
We need to stop hashtagging things.
They got their own pound.
Yeah, actually.
I didn't realize that.
Good.
I
don't need it.
I didn't realize that it's not called pound outside of North America. It's always been hash sign. And then a hashtag is
I've never said pound key. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was pound until the whole social media happened thing, as far as I could tell.
Like, of course, there's situations where you should probably use it, but like, don't. I hate social media hashtags. I don't know. I've never really been into it.
So this is cool. Speaking of social, our forum, Adam the Geek just posted. I just got a Pebble Steel. Since then I've been playing around making watch faces. Made a WAN Show watch face.
That's sick.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love it. So I just wanted to share that little bit of fan art. I love this fan art stuff. It's cool. No one ever made fan art of us before, except that one really creepy thing. Yeah. So this was originally posted by Ming on the forum, and it's from hardwarezone.com. Sony is this is amazing. So they're releasing the VPL GTZ1. This is a 55 kilogram. So guys, for those of you who think Imperial, we're talking about 130 pounds. Whoa. Something in that neighborhood. 4K ultra short throw laser projector. It does 4K 60p over HDMI 2.0 with 4 inputs. It needs only 7 inches from the wall for a 17:9 aspect ratio image.
So you need like 2 people to hold this thing.
That is 147 inches tall.
So you can fit it. Whoa, what?
From 7 inches from the wall. It's a laser projector. This thing is badass. If you were looking to build the ultimate home theater setup and you kind of went, you know what? My home theater setup is not going to have a projector mounted on the ceiling. You only have to have it this far from the wall in order to have a home theater sized perfect 4K. Every single one of them is
pretty cool.
Hand assembled in Japan.
Okay, how much does this cost? You're talking about home theater setup.
Well, you'd be pretty
You're
baller.
a ball. Okay, so
it's
like
50 grand, I think. Yeah, 50 grand US.
So you're talking about those like lottery home theaters.
Yes.
Okay.
So to put this in perspective, this is 135 inch. Would be like the typical 4K projector distance. This one sits 7 inches away. Now it's not small. It's a meter wide. Like, it's huge.
That's really big.
But it's pretty freaking cool. I thought that was pretty darn sweet. What else is there to say about it? Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for the show for today, unless you had anything else that you really wanted to hit. Guys, thank you so much for watching.
I mainly just wanted to talk about that whole, which we already talked about, Dreamhack Winter,
what a disaster, eh?
Because that's just been ridiculous. I wanted to show that Ubisoft was still digging despite doing some good things.
They did a good thing.
They did.
Let's give them credit. I'm not taking off the shirt yet, and I'm not going to tell you guys to stop buying the shirts
They have like one dude in the hole trying to put dirt back in it, and then they have another dude in the hole trying to throw dirt back out. So I don't know. They still haven't solved their problems.
Well, the hope is that the guy putting the dirt in will suffocate the guy taking the dirt out, and then they can just keep on digging. They can get rid of that guy.
That's not the hope.
Well, that might be their hope, based on their recent
based
actions.
on their goals. Yeah. People are bringing up Star Wars, but I haven't been able to see the trailer yet.
You haven't seen it?
I have not seen the trailer yet. You know why I haven't seen the trailer yet? It's because last night, someone linked me to an Imager post.
It's amazing.
Saying, here's the Star Wars trailer, and it was someone secretly filming in a movie theater, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, and then you get rickrolled.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, so it's not real. So every mention I saw of it after that, I was like, oh, whatever, it's not real. It's just people trying to spread this rickroll. Whatever, I guess rickroll's coming back. So I was just ignoring it completely.
It is
and then today,
so real.
We're filming that thing that I'm not going to bring up that's coming on Sunday. And Brandon's like, oh yeah, have you seen it yet? I'm like, well, I got rickrolled. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what it is.
You got wrecked rolled.
Yeah, I got completely destroyed.
Not only did you get rickrolled, you didn't get to watch the trailer.
No. So do you want to talk about it? You can talk. I don't mind spoilers.
Yes,
I'll just watch the trailer later.
I will talk about it. Well, the trailer has a lot of like long dips to black, so there's not a whole lot of spoiler to happen. It's like basically like a 2-second snippet, and then it's like dip to black dramatically, and there's like. He's like a couple seconds and it's gone. They're not showing you anything, but there's a couple really cool shots.
That reminds me of the Warlords of Draenor trailer where it's just like the orc facing at the screen, like breathing angrily. They're like not showing you anything. Yeah. But it was actually a really cool trailer.
No, they're showing nothing. But okay, so there's one shot that like made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and they've got a couple of X-wings in formation flying like a couple feet over the water, and the water spray is like flying up behind them. They've got obviously a Sith, firing up a lightsaber that's actually got like a hilt on it.
Oh.
Yeah, but the design of the hilt isn't very good. It's kind of stupid because there's actually like things that they come out of. So the traditional way that was used, the handguard was used as if the sword slid down.
Yeah.
That wouldn't block the blade because if you slid down the blade, you cut off the thing. There's nothing preventing a lightsaber from being cut in half.
It would have to be like up on a weird angle or something. But yeah, okay, I got you.
So it is amazing how emotion invoking just that music is.
Yeah.
That music with some kind of imagery to it. I do love Star Wars, and I think I said this on NetLinked today, over on NCIX Tech Tips, but if Abrams screws this up,
he's gonna be called Jar Jar Abrams.
Yes.
I've read that somewhere. That's not me. No.
I still like the joke, even if it isn't yours.
Yeah.
Because like Star Trek, I enjoyed the movies, but there was really no risk that I wasn't going to enjoy the movies. I'm not a Trekkie. Like I watched a bunch of Next Generation with my dad when I was a kid, but like as an adult and even as a teenager, I never got into any of the Star Trek series.
Hold up, pause. Sorry. Apparently the Dreamhack match is being played again from halfway. That is retarded.
No, that's not right.
That is super dumb.
Okay,
I'm going to ignore that for now.
We don't use the R word to describe things that are dumb because that's not PC.
Sorry.
But I acknowledge that your anger is not entirely unjustified, and sometimes angry outbursts over an incredible injustice don't make it through the politically correct filter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just stupid.
But that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Hopefully that's not actually what's happening. Hopefully he's trying to add to the
hold on.
trolling that happened
Apparently
last
that's
night.
not confirmed yet. Okay, no. The decision isn't final yet. Okay, good. Anyway, back to Star Trek. So I didn't really have any emotional investment in it. I was able to watch those movies as just like fun space movies that I don't really care about. Star Wars is a whole other ball of wax.
I'm sure Nick has official verdict.
Dreamhack thing has not been decided.
Okay, not been decided.
Good.
So Star Wars, I have a much more. I like read tons of the books, and like I owned like Star Wars like encyclopedia reference style books, like the Ultimate Guide to Vehicles and Weapons and Characters, and like read them cover to cover multiple times as a kid. Like I'm a Star Wars kid, so if he screws this up, if I hear any mention of midichlorians, I will walk out of the theater.
Do you know the old like
straight up
gold and black box? The VHS box?
Yeah. I've got that one.
Ours is like half destroyed because of how many times I watched it as a kid.
Well, I'm a little older than you, so for me, it's the one with the blue Star Wars text.
I think my dad had a version before that one.
Purple Empire one, and then the maroon Return of the Jedi one and black box set.
Yeah.
But I also own the gold one.
That's funny.
So there you go. The remastered ones. The gold one is pretty bad. It's got a lot of remastered crap in it. Greedo shoots first. It's terrible. Yeah. But the one that I owned before that is the one that I grew up watching over and over again. Han shoots first the way that he should have. It's not even a debate. I don't even understand what there is to debate about it. You know, people, Star Wars people need to just get together and all go, look, we're not going to talk about this anymore because there is no debate. Any movie where Han doesn't shoot first is not a Star Wars movie. Any movie that mentions midichlorians is not a Star Wars movie. Any movie that has Jar Jar Binks in it is not a Star Wars movie. And Revenge of the Sith, I enjoyed it, but I have never once rewatched it. So I maybe I'll go back and give it another shot. See if it still holds up to being not complete garbage.
Right.
Use the Force, Harry, quoting Gandalf. Thank you for that, jerk. You're banned. All right. Now the Twitch chat is full of Han did not shoot first, and so the show is over. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
Bye.
The show is so over. Like, over enough that we're never going to do it again. And Greedo shot first. Until next Friday.
Yeah.
When we'll do it again.
Yeah. Very specifically at 4:30 PST.
Yeah.
Unless we're late.
Usually.
So, like, in any range specifically from 4:30 to 6, we'll be live.
We're only like 6 minutes late today.
Yeah,
Or maybe 8.
or
They're both even numbers.